All right, welcome everybody. We are here to talk about how to legally compel attorneys to refer their high tickets cases to you. So how do you know if you are in the right place? How do you know if this is right and will work for you? We're going to talk about some of that in just a minute, but you've got to be willing to do something different. This is definitely outside the box, and you're going to see why in just a minute. But if you finally want regular referrals from attorneys without having to send them referrals in the hopes that they'll send you something back, you're in the right place. If you are willing to follow directions, you are in the right place. What you're going to discover today is you're going to learn how to speak lawyer. You're going to learn the secret case law that literally forces attorneys to send cases to you. And you're going to learn how to add value to get even more referrals every single month. So just take a minute and imagine you could wave a magic wand and get qualified referrals from attorneys every single month with highly qualified prospects with large cases. So if you're looking for a $5,000 IRA rollover, if you're looking for $5,000 in an IRA every year, this isn't for you. If you're thinking, hey, $100,000 annuity would be a great ticket, that may be true, but we're looking for a whole lot bigger cases than that. Now, what happens if you don't do this? Well, you're going to keep sending referrals to attorneys if that's what you're doing, and you're going to keep getting zero back. I've tried that. I did it that way for years until I recently discovered this. I was frustrated just like you were. My branch manager, when I started 20 years ago, said, I'm going to give you a bunch of orphan clients. You know, their advisors left, and now we're going to assign them to you and go out and do a review. And then he said, find out who their accountant is, find out who their attorney is, and go take that attorney to lunch. Call them up and tell them you got a client in common, and you take them to lunch or you take them to breakfast or coffee. I can't tell you how much money I wasted on breakfast, lunches, coffees, and networking events, building relationships with those attorneys that never, ever got me anything back. If that's you, if you've ever taken an attorney to lunch, taken an attorney to breakfast, or sent referrals to an attorney and not gotten anything back, give me a that's me in the chat box. Give me a that's me in the chat box. There's actually going to be a prize later for the person who participates the most. We're going to talk about what that prize is in just a minute, which means you comment, you answer questions, or you ask questions. All right, I get some me, that's me. Robert says that's me. Sean says that's me. Don says that's me. Awesome. All right. So you could keep wasting money on ineffective marketing that doesn't work. But we're going to show you a very different way, which is why you're here today. And again, the prize for being the most participatory, as I tell my 14-year-old son doing remote school on Zoom, you have to participate. It doesn't matter that you're not in the physical room. The prize is going to be a free vacation. We will send you, we are going to get you, we will pay for 3 nights, 4 days in a 5-star resort in Orlando or Vegas. You pick Orlando or Vegas. You have to get yourself there, but we will pay for the resort. And you don't have to travel right now. If you're not comfortable going to Orlando or Vegas due to COVID, you have up to 18 months to take your free trip. So that's your incentive to participate. Now, let's talk a little bit about where you're at right now. So I'd like you to do this referral exercise with me. Type with me in the chat box how many referrals you got in 2020. I understand we had COVID. It was an aberration. It was an abnormal year. How many referrals did you get in 2020? If you know the answer. If you don't know the answer, how many referrals did you get in April of 2021, last month? All right, so I see 0, 0, 0. I see Chris got 4. I see Don got 15. I see Paul got 5. I see Howard got 2. I see Nate got 2. I see Perry got 0. Awesome. All right. So not awesome that it's 0, but awesome that you're typing in the numbers. So now here's the next part of the exercise. How many households do you serve? So do you have 100 clients? Do you have 82 clients? Do you have 300 clients? How many households, not accounts, because you could have 10 accounts in one household. You could have 7. How many households do you serve? So Michael says 225. Awesome. The other Michael says 180. Ian says 76. Don says 200. Okay. So here's the next part of the assignment. You're going to take the amount of referrals you got and divide by the number of households you got, and you're going to type in that percentage. So for example, if I have 100 clients and I got 10 referrals, that means I got a 10% referral rate. See how the math works? Type, Paul says 5%, Michael says 0%. So what is that number? I see Perry says 7%, Michael says 2%. Okay, so here's the thing. Flip the number upside down. What do I mean by that? If you got a 2% referral rate, Michael, that means 98% of your clients didn't refer, right? If you're at 7.5, Don, that means 92.5% of your clients did not give you a referral. That's pretty scary, right? You're doing a good job. You're doing what you said you were going to do. You're taking care of them. You're helping them make smart choices with their money. Why the heck aren't they referring? So it wasn't always like this. I didn't get to this point. I started out frustrated just like you were and driving myself crazy, pulling my hair out, trying to figure out why these clients who I was doing a good job for weren't referring and why I wasn't getting referrals from attorneys. I was willing to do a good job for their clients. I was willing to help them out, but it didn't get me anywhere. So we're going to start off and we're going to tell you who we are and why you should listen to this. We're going to start with Max. Max, let's start with you. Tell them a little bit about who you are and why they should listen to you. You are our legal eagle.
Thank you very much. Max Mitchell Newman, went to the University of Virginia, recruited for soccer by Bruce Arena many years ago, then law school at Florida, prosecutor under Reno, handled the first criminal AIDS case in the world, consulted for President Reagan, AV-rated trial attorney, MGA and insurance. When you saw Billy Mays on TV hawking insurance, that was my insurance. I work with ICANN Benefits, Bird Dog for 2 Lloyd's cover holders, new unique products in group employee benefits. Actually, some of those people are on the call today listening. And I know how to get attorneys to refer because attorneys are afraid of their own liability. So something had to change, and I found a way to change it. So I did insurance defense for many, many years. All right, we'll keep you on the mailing list.
All right, I'll handle the chat.
All right, sorry, thank you. So I did insurance defense, became an AV-rated trial attorney in 2004. I decided to go insurance and sell insurance. My first year, I cold called 2,000 agencies and put on $5 million in premium with one of the #1 sellers of group limited medical, and realized cold calling is not the most efficient way to get business. So I said, how do I get business from attorneys? I did the research in all 50 states, including the case law and ethics rules. And there's case law that very few attorneys know about. And they definitely don't know about the liability that could be in the millions of dollars and the liability from the ethics rules that could cause them to lose their license. So I got in business. I started making money. But the reality is I'm a one-man band. And I also am not securities licensed, which some of the people want to hear from. And I was lucky enough to stay in insurance, and I met Seth. And Seth is the man. For those who don't know Seth, this guy works for Kevin Harrington. He's a marketing guru, and I pitched him. So remember, persistence is key. I did not get to Seth the first time, and you will not get every lawyer the first time. I pitched Seth 4 years ago. I didn't succeed. I read a piece by his director of marketing in December. Never give up until they tell you never to call again. I pitched him again. He listened to me and he said, oh my God, let's have you prove it. So for the 4 months from January till beginning of May, I had to prove to him with his test financial planners that I could land the attorneys. And Seth, I landed the attorneys.
Yes, that's why we're talking today. All right. So why am I teaching what I'm about to share with you? Because it's what I wish I had when I started. Why is Max teaching this? Because he protects lawyers from themselves. And you're about to find out how and why in just a second. In case you don't know who I am, in case you haven't been on a different presentation I've given before, I've been interviewed in Registered Rep and Insurance Newsnet, 2 of the biggest trade journals in our financial services industry. I've also been on NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, and I've been written about in Forbes and Inc. magazine. I've written 8 best-selling books. Book number 9, the proof order of book number 9 showed up today. I've been on the cover of Success magazine, and my company helps financial advisors finally get the regular referrals they deserve. So why would we share this? If Max has truly cracked the code to legally forcing attorneys to refer, and it's working, which is why I'm sharing it, why would we teach you? We can't write all the business. So we're your bridge between the attorneys and their end user clients. So again, if you're willing to follow directions, we're about to teach you how to speak lawyer. We're going to teach you the secret case law that forces attorneys to refer. And then we're going to teach you how to add value to get even more referrals every single month. So Max, let's tell them how to speak lawyer.
Well, the number one way to speak lawyer is first have a lawyer speak for you. The key to lawyers is they're afraid of their own liability. So once you get him hooked that he has a problem, then he's pliable. And you will see later on a video reference from one of the test people. And that lawyer that was the second lawyer that I did for that person was so afraid of the liability arising from what I told him that the next morning he had a meeting with all the lawyers in his firm to refer out every client on a go forward basis to make sure they didn't have a problem. Once you get the lawyer, go ahead.
So we're going to interrupt each other. So this is exciting to me and was because how many of you can relate to this? Attorneys are paranoid. And that's why they don't refer. They don't stick their neck out. They give you these crappy excuses like, I can't refer because then my other advisors would know about it somehow and they would stop sending me referrals, which is a crock of crap, but you can't convince them it's not. Or they think, well, I can't risk my reputation, or legally I'm not supposed to, which is not true. We're about to disprove that. So this works because it turns their greatest excuse and their greatest reason not to, and their biggest objection, their paranoia, and makes it work against them. This becomes, their paranoia becomes the reason why they have to refer. So it can't be you presenting this. I tried it. When Max taught me his first secret script to get a phone call with an attorney, to get an attorney to jump on the call with me. And then when he taught me what he said to the attorneys to get them to refer, I said, oh, I could do that. And I tried it myself. Guy didn't believe me. Didn't matter that I said, you could go look it up. He said, I don't care. He totally blew me out of the water and said, no. It came across as salesy because I'm the self-interested financial advisor presenting it to him. When Max does it, or one of his lawyers who works for him does it, all of a sudden they believe it because another lawyer is telling them. It has to be another lawyer presenting this. Otherwise, it doesn't work. If you try it, you could try it yourself. When you learn it, it's not going to work. They won't believe it coming from a financial advisor or insurance agent. It will be perceived as salesy. I tried the most gentle voice, the softest tone I could when I tried to pitch it myself, and it totally backfired and didn't work. So now, Max, can you tell them about the case law that makes this legally a requirement that they refer?
Sure. So the Grillo case is from 1996. The underpinning of the Grillo case is ethics rules that are applicable in all states. They're basically a version of the ABA rules. And the underpinning of the case is that an attorney has to refer out to experts if there's a matter within the scope of his representation that he's not an expert on, but an expert exists. And the attorneys in this case failed to refer out to experts related to tax and annuity issues and Medicaid issues, and they got popped for $4 million. $4 million. But the larger issue, what we have found in talking to the attorneys, is they're more afraid of the bar issues because bars complaints are up all over the country. And failing to comply with the bar rules of referring out to experts can take their license.
So we're going to drill deeper into that in just a second. So what he's saying in English is that lawyers who didn't refer got sued and lost $4.1 million because they didn't refer to a financial advisor or an insurance agent. So attorneys may think they know everything because they went to law school and they're a lawyer, but they realize there are things like they're not financial experts. They're not insurance experts. They don't know the first thing about disability insurance or law or anything else. So, and this isn't a disability insurance webinar, but you get the idea. They know that they're not financial experts. What they don't know is that they are legally required to refer out or they become liable. So if they don't tell their client, hey, you're getting divorced and you're getting child support from your husband, you need disability insurance on your husband in case he gets hurt and can't work and can't make his child support payments. If the attorney doesn't tell them that and doesn't send them to a financial advisor or an insurance agent to get covered, he's liable for every penny that they didn't protect. So once Max and his team make them aware of this, they literally start, I mean, he was talking about it on the call, like the attorney was freaking out going, oh my God, I didn't know we were supposed to be doing this. Are we retroactively liable for every case we've ever done? Now that's a home run. That's not going to happen on every call. And we're going to show you in a minute. Sometimes they'll start sending you cases going forward. We've had some home runs where the attorneys were like, we need to go back through our cases and see who we should have referred out. Is this law, regulations, state law, or federal law? It is in all 50 states. So we're going to, great question, Chris. So this is in his team has done the research. It exists in every single state. So now let's say we've used the attorney's greatest objection, his paranoia against him, and made it the reason why he has to refer. How do we add more value to keep them happy with us, to keep them sending more cases on a regular basis and make sure those cases go to us and not anybody else? Well, what are attorneys lousy at? Marketing. I have asked, and Max was there. I've done multiple calls with attorneys, with Max, and when he does his thing, and then I'll ask a question and say, who's an ideal client for you? What practice area is your favorite? How are you bringing clients in the door? And usually every single time, take a guess. Financial advisors, part of the participation prize. Insurance agents who were here, how do attorneys say they get business? Type your guess in the chat box. What is their most common answer?
And Don, the answer to your question is yes.
Don asks if this is applicable to plaintiff and defendant attorneys. The answer is yes. So every single person says referrals. You're absolutely right. Word of mouth. That's the answer they all give. You want to trip up an attorney? Don't do this. I did this by mistake on my first call. And I said, how many referrals are you going to get next month? And they go, deer in the headlights. I don't know. How would you get more referrals? Could you double the number you were going to get next month if you wanted to? No, I don't know. So they're lousy at marketing because think about it. It's not taught in law school. They get torts and contracts and case law and stuff like that and ethics. They don't actually learn anything about bringing clients in the door. So what if we were able to generate leads together? So for example, we have programs Max and his team have created literally like a different seminar every single month for you to present to the attorney that will either show them ways to reduce their costs in their practice, show them ways to manage their practice better, show them ways to be a better attorney. And I've got content on how to bring more clients in the door. So if we can make their job easier, make it cost less, and bring more clients in the door every single month, all that business, every single month, they're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe this is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. More referrals keep coming in the door. How many of you have ever tried to do a seminar before COVID, probably, with an attorney where you brought your clients or sent out invitations and the attorney was supposed to bring people? Give me I've tried it. If you've ever tried to do a seminar with an attorney. Remember, there is a prize for participation. All right, you can say no. The answer can be no. I see nope, 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 nope. Okay, I've tried it too. There we go. So I tried it because my branch manager told me to, and I did all the work. I sent out all the invitations. I got all my clients. The attorney brought like 2 people, his secretary and a paralegal. None of his clients, he didn't invite anybody. I spent all the money and he got cases out of it. Well, that doesn't happen anymore this way because now you're the one, he's got a vested interest. He has to refer. So would he rather send you one case at a time, or would he rather send you a whole bunch and reduce his liability a whole lot more? It feeds into their paranoia. Then we teach them how to reposition their practice, because they don't know the first darn thing about positioning or marketing. They might walk into let's say it's at a cocktail party or a networking event or something, and it's, hi, I'm John, I'm a personal injury attorney. They don't know how to answer that question, what do you do, in a way that makes people go, oh my God, I got to learn more about that. That's something we teach you as a financial advisor or an insurance agent. But attorneys don't know the first thing about elevator pitches, about magical marketing propositions, about unique selling propositions. They don't know how to talk about themselves in a way that actually gets people to want to do business with them. So when we provide all of these resources, sometimes the attorney wants to get paid to come speak at a workshop. Ken Walbridge, you are absolutely right. It's funny. I got an invoice in the mail once. I said, what the heck is this for? He said, come into that seminar. I said, I got you 6 clients and you still want to charge me? Now he's asking me, can we get more chairs in the room? Can attorneys accept revenue sharing per POLMA 13? Max, that's a question for you.
I do not believe any state allows an attorney in their legal practice to accept revenue. Some states allow you to set up a separate business, but you still have a fiduciary duty to your client. So it all depends on the state. I don't know what the PLM 13 is. So
we're not trying to give them money. So there's not a revenue share. If the attorney's referring cases to us, they're referring to it's good client service to protect their clients, and they're mostly referring to protect themselves from the liability and the potential bar complaint and the lawsuit for not referring. They're not asking us for any money. They're not asking for a commission share. They're not trying to get licensed and get revenue. So when we show them ways every single month to make their practice easier, make themselves a better attorney, reduce their costs, or get more business in the door, it's golden handcuffs. And they literally, the referrals just keep on coming. I was thinking along your lines of added value. Yes, Dave, I totally get it. But no, we're not trying to put money. We're not physically putting money in their pocket. We're going to help them get more cases, and they're going to get paid from their legal fees. We're not sharing revenue. So it's funny, Max and I had a call with an immigration attorney a couple of weeks ago who said, why would you do? He's like, I guess you're doing this because this is an upward spiral. He said, you help me get a client, I get paid. I then send them back to you guys for the financial services stuff, and you get paid all over again. Is that right? And I said, that is exactly right. You totally get it. We would help them because we're self-interested, because those referrals are going to come back to us. So we talked about how to speak lawyer, and the answer is don't. You have to let a lawyer speak lawyer or they won't believe you. We talked about Grillo, the secret case law that forces attorneys to refer. We're going to talk about the different types of attorneys this applies to in just a minute. And we talked about, we give them a seminar every single month, some that are just for them and they download it and they watch it or they look at the PowerPoint and they're good and they learn something. Some of it, literally, you're going to get the opportunity where they say, as Max alluded to, we had a guy who in the same day said, oh my God, can you tell my whole firm this? Which is a grand slam home run. So how many of you are excited about the concept that you could turn an attorney's paranoia to be the reason why they finally start referring? Give me a yes in the chat box. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Oh yeah. I love it. All right. But you might feel like this guy, right? You're drinking from a fire hose. We're throwing a 50,000 foot bird's eye view, overarching concept at you in a short period of time. But hopefully you see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. When Max said, and I said, attorneys don't normally refer. You have to do something really unique in order to get them to do it because they're paranoid. And he said, I know, but I can make them refer because they're paranoid. I said, okay, you got my attention. And then after he showed it to me and it worked, I said, damn, I wish I had listened to you 4 years ago. So is it okay if I share with you how you can get all of this done for you, and how Max and his team will literally meet with attorneys for you every single month and close your deals for you? Give me up. Okay, I got a please in the chat box. I was going to wait for answers, but all right. Okay, so how do you make this happen? So this is our Legal Eagles program. That's what we're calling it. You can see how creative we are. So I can't teach you to do this yourself because it won't work. I tried. And I think I'm a pretty damn good salesman, and I tried twice with 2 different attorneys. Once I was all, I think I found something that you might want to know about. And the other time I was more aggressive. I struck out completely both times. Max got on one phone call, and in 25 minutes, the attorney said, "Oh my God, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. Yes, you are right. I do need to be referring out. I will refer to Seth and I will start right now." And I got my first referral on that call. And then the next call we did, the guy said, "Oh my God, you're right. How come nobody told me this? I need to start doing this." So who this is not for, let's disqualify you. Let's make sure that you're not the wrong person. So again, you can't be faint of heart or squeamish. I mean, you're not going to stab anybody, but emotionally, we're using their greatest weapon against us, against them. It's like emotion, like Aikido, right? I've been a lifelong martial artist and I'm a black belt in Krav Maga, but I did take some Aikido years ago in college. And the concept of Aikido in the soft martial arts is you use the opponent's initial energy against them. You don't resist, you go with it and turn it around. So we're taking their biggest weapon, their paranoia, and making it work for us. Because if you've ever tried fighting against an attorney's paranoia, you're banging your head against the wall. It's never going to work. You can't logically rationalize. You can't get them to stop feeling that way, but you can get them to feel that way more and then take action because of it. If you are stuck in your box, this is not for you. If you think I got to do it the way it's always been done, then by all means, go for it. It's not, you're just going to be frustrated with the results you're going to get. If you are not willing to try something different, don't do this. As you can tell, is very, very different. This is arguably, in my opinion, I've been in the business, a financial advisor, 21 years, marketing, helping other financial advisors for the last 14, in addition to continuing to practice as a financial advisor every single day. I close 2 clients today and have 1 more after this of new prospects. Thank you, Max. And this is probably the most controversial thing I've ever seen. Controversial because we're taking their paranoia and making it work for us instead of against us. So we built it because when I saw it work, if I always do what I've always done, I'll always get which I've always got, which doesn't work for me. Yes, Dave, you are absolutely right. That is Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's one of my favorite quotes. So we built, when Max showed this to me, I was skeptical. I didn't believe him. He said, "Put me on the phone with an attorney. I'll show you it works." He did it. I said, "Oh my God, it does work." I said, "That was a fluke. Do it again. Do the magic trick again." He got on the phone the next day with another attorney, did it again. I said, "Okay, we got to make sure it's not just me." And I got a couple other financial advisors who were clients of my marketing firm on other services to try this. I said, "Try this with Max, see if it works for you." He already mentioned one of them. I'll show you a video from one of them in a minute. And he said, "Holy crap, it works." And I said, "Okay, I think we're onto something. We need to add more to it to make it a full-fledged initiative to make this really work and build the structure around it." Dave says, "What's wrong with compelling someone to do what's best for them?" Nothing. I agree with you 100%. I mean, we do that every day, right? No one comes in going, "Please let me buy an annuity," right? We have to educate them. We have to inform them. We have to get them to decide to do something in their best interest. So this is the missing piece, right? It's the missing piece of the puzzle. So we're going to offer you the opportunity to participate in our beta test because we've done this for myself and a couple advisors. We need more to prove it before we take this on a wide scale to a large percentage of the marketplace. So what you're going to get, there's 3 levels. You're going to get a weekly lecture with Max, 40 minutes of him teaching, 20 minutes of Q&A. He's going to teach you the different types of attorneys to approach because this doesn't work with every type of law. He's going to teach you how to approach each one. They're all different. He's going to teach you the number of clients they might have. Oh, we got a second, Max. He's going to teach you the number of clients they might have and how many might come to you in a given period of time so that you can be ready. He's going to teach you how to get a meeting with the attorney and then how many you need and why, depending on what you're going to offer. And you have to know what you should sell to the clients, depending on the type of attorney they came from. You're not going to sell the same thing to everybody. Different areas of law, those clients have different needs that have to be covered to protect the attorney from the liability. Then you're also going to get an ongoing seminar every single month of topics to help the attorney get business, have a better business, or reduce their costs. So every month you're adding more value to the attorney beyond reducing his liability, so that he or she wants to keep sending you more referrals every single month. You have to stay in front of them, and you have to keep dripping and adding more value. Plus, Max and his team will get on the phone with you and with one attorney each month at the silver level and close the deal for you. He or his team will literally do the phone call with you. You'll be on the call, you, attorney, and Max or his team, and they will literally work the magic trick and close the deal for you. You will also get access. I lead a monthly mastermind group where I teach the best of what's working to grow your practice and your business for 2 to 3 hours every single month. That group is live on Zoom, and you get the chance to be a part of the membership site. You get a chance to network with everybody else in the group, and you get the latest marketing techniques we use to grow our practice to grow yours. That by itself is normally $297 a month. We're throwing in for free because you came from today's webinar. The normal price for the silver level is going to be $2,250. We're going to give you the weekly training. We're going to give you the monthly mastermind, and Max and his team are going to close one attorney every single month. They're going to get on the phone with you and one attorney of your choice every month and work the magic. Now, the beta tester price is $14.97. So obviously you're going to save a significant amount of money, $1,500 a month. You get the weekly training, the monthly mastermind, and one attorney per month, which means if you did this for a year, you'd have 12 attorneys sending you business. Can you imagine? I mean, that could add up to a significant volume of cases. Now, what does beta test mean? I said it's a beta test. As I said, I've only let a handful of advisors and agents test this so far. This is our first attempt at scaling it. So you can get in now at the beta test price, or you can wait 3 months when we've got dozens and dozens of case studies and the price is going to go up at least 50%. We've only got 10 slots available for the beta test because that's all we can handle in the first wave. It's going to be first come, first serve. So when I make that link available to you at the end, if you have any interest, go grab your slot. Now, this is Ross, one of the advisors we tested it on. I'm going to let you hear what Ross has to say, and then I'm going to tell you what the other levels are and how you can take advantage of the discount.
I met Max Newman through Seth Green, and Max told me how he could help me get business from attorneys that I wasn't already getting. Shortly thereafter, I booked 2 calls with attorney friends of mine and got Max on the phone with them. And Max laid out to them how they have a professional responsibility to refer clients to me because of the legal requirements in the state of Florida where I live. And he laid out the case law and the scenarios. Both attorneys were surprised and grateful for Max relaying that information to them. And they both said, yeah, they will absolutely refer business to me now because of what Max said. And I've had conversations with them since then. And so as long as a person nurtures these relationships after they have the conversation with Max, it's an incredible opportunity to create more business and more referrals from centers of influence who should already be giving you business, but typically they're not. So I absolutely recommend Max Newman's program with Seth Green.
Thanks, Ross. All right. The gold level gets you everything in the silver level. Plus, we are going to, as we talked about, Ross talked about nurturing, we produce a bi-monthly magazine that goes to the attorneys. So this is a print magazine. It is glossy. It is high end. It is written by professional editorial staff. It's got lifestyle articles. It's got recipes. It's like Architectural Digest. Now you get your picture on the cover. You get your logo on the cover. You get your picture on the inside front cover, and you can make this letter to the client or the attorney, say whatever you want. There are 2 tear out cards that go in this, like recipes that they save. Your business information goes on those, and you also get to customize the back cover. It costs $4 per person to send this, printed, stuffed, sealed, stamped out the door. If you will let us put our ad for college planning services on the inside back cover, I'll pay for your first 50. So you could literally send this to 50 of your own clients, or let's say 40 and 10 attorneys for free because I'll pay for it. We also produce a monthly snail mail marketing newsletter that I send out to our marketing clients here every single month. It's literally like a marketing seminar in every issue, teaching you great ways to help grow your own business. We normally charge $50 a month just for the newsletter. We also produce, you're about to find out, we produce 63 podcasts for our financial services clients. Now, half of those podcasts are in financial services in different areas, half of them are not. We will give you the opportunity to get booked on those podcasts that are relevant to what you do as a guest, which means you get a 20 to 30 minute commercial interview for your product or service. We normally charge as a podcast booking agency $1,500 a month for people who want to get booked on our shows. You're going to get that for free. So the gold level, you get the bi-monthly, you get silver, you get the bi-monthly magazine, you get the monthly snail mail newsletter, you get booked on our podcast, and instead of one attorney a month, Max and his team will book 2 attorneys a month for you. So instead of $29.97, gets cut down to $22.50. $22.50 a month. You get 2 lawyers a month, plus the bi-monthly magazine, the snail mail newsletter, and the opportunity to get booked on our podcast. Now, platinum is 4 attorneys a month, plus, in addition to that, we'll produce your own weekly podcast that will get you in front of another attorney or center of influence every single week. So in addition to Max and his team closing 4 attorneys for you a month, you're going to have a weekly show where you interview attorneys, accountants, commercial mortgage brokers, commercial real estate, commercial realtors, all kinds of other centers of influence, 50 episodes, 1 a week for a year. So you'll get 48 attorneys in a year and 50 podcast episodes in a year to absolutely explode your production. We will do the research to find them. We will build the list. We will send them direct mail, email, LinkedIn, and phone them until they say yes to being on your show. We'll write the questions for you. We'll practice with you. We'll teach you how to record a podcast. We'll type up every word of every recording for you. We'll turn it into a best-selling book on Amazon, which those attorneys and accountants and centers of influence will now hand out every single week because they're in it. They'll promote the podcast because they're a guest and they were appearing on the show. And then when the book comes out, they'll promote the book because they're in it, and they will literally hand it out to their clients and prospects and say, look at me, I'm in this book. And those people, some of which will call you because their attorney or accountant just handed them the book. So silver is $14.97, gold is $22.50. Your very own weekly podcast is $37.46, which is $59.97 a month to get 48 attorneys in a year and another 50 podcast episodes. You will get it all for $54.97. So what's the guarantee? If you follow the program, and if you put Max and his team in front of 1 attorney a month, 2 attorneys a month, or 4 attorneys a month, depending on if you do silver, gold, or platinum, we guarantee you will get referrals. If you implement what you learn in my monthly mastermind and it doesn't work, we'll refund your mastermind fee. If you use the bi-monthly magazine and you don't get referrals, it'll be free. If you do the weekly podcast and you don't get in front of the COI's clients, we'll give you an extra month for free. So silver is $14.97, 1 attorney a month. Gold is $22.50, 2 attorneys a month, the magazine, the snail mail newsletter, and you get booked on our podcast. Platinum, 4 attorneys a month, and you get your own weekly podcast. So if you want one of those slots, you are going to go to bit.ly/legal eagle now. Dave says, I had fraud occur on my card. I'm waiting for the new one, but I'd like to participate. The issue we've got is there's 10 slots. There's way more than 10 of you on here now. So I'm going to pause the slide deck and we'll open up for Q&A. You can type your questions in the chat box.
Well, Seth, one person asked the question earlier. Does this apply to IP attorneys? It may, depending on what you sell. I can make an argument on most attorneys. I would have to know what you sell, and then I would come up with a pitch for IP attorneys. But I already have come up with pitch. I just don't know what you sell, sir or ma'am. I couldn't remember. It went too quick.
Okay, so if whoever asked that question wants to type in, can we put up the website again? Yes. So I'm going to show it to you because I'll click the link and show you what you're going to see. Hang on one second. Okay, so when you go to bit.ly/Legal Eagle now, you will see legally compel attorneys to send you regular referrals. You'll see a video of me walking you through, again, what you get at each level, silver, gold, or platinum. And when you click the button, the order form will open up again. You will see me walk you through again what's exactly in that level. And then you punch in your information on your credit card and we get started right away. The weekly training is literally the first one is this Wednesday. They are recorded every week. So if you can't make it, if this Wednesday your schedule won't work, it's not enough notice, we record them every single week and then provide you the recordings. It helps if you actually spell it's bit.ly, not bit.ly. I put the period in the wrong place. That's important. All right. Are we recording this right now? Yes, we are. But again, oh, congratulations to the folks who already signed up. All right, looks like we got a couple slots already taken. Now, we have to announce a winner of our vacation. So based on the statistics, the person who commented the most is Dave Forsgren. Dave, if I'm pronouncing that right. Yep, Dave Forsgren. You're going to pick Orlando or Las Vegas, and we will get you your voucher for your vacation. Congratulations. All right, other questions? Dave says thanks. Awesome. Again, bit.ly/Legal Eagle now. Questions. There we go. All right, questions. Can you address the compliance issue? Yes. So you are having a conversation with an attorney about networking, for lack of a better example. Max and his team are jumping on that call with you. So you have no control over what Max or his team say. They're going to follow the script that they've prepared, but you have no control over that. I am not a compliance attorney. I can't give you legal advice. I did not have any issues with my compliance department. We just kind of did it. And it worked. Same with Ross, same with the other folks who tried it. I can't tell you. That's a question for you if you want to ask for approval.
So that, this is not an OBA. I'm familiar with OBAs. This is, you are marketing and you are not offering any product. I am telling the lawyer his ethical and legal duties. I can't see any compliance issue, but feel free to ask, but I can't foresee any compliance officer saying you can't tell the attorney of his legal duties.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues. Is there a minimum time period commitment? So you got to stick around long enough to make it work. So I will say for silver and gold, there's no minimum time commitment. But again, if you think about it, the first month you're going to be doing the training classes. And I would say by the end of the first month, you'll know enough to be able to start setting up phone calls. So by then you'll know who to approach. You'll know what to say to get the phone call, what to say, what to email, what to text, depending on your relationship with that attorney. So in month 2, Max and his team will be doing phone calls for you, closing attorneys to get them to say yes and send you business. How fast those referrals come is going to vary. Every attorney is going to be different. There might be some, like I got lucky and got one right on the call. There may be some that it's a week later. There might be some where they go retroactive and say, oh, I go better refer a bunch of my clients out. Or there might be some where they say next month, I've got a case coming. So we have no control over that. I would say give it 3 months. And I would hope you'd have referrals and cases by then. The platinum plan, that podcast program, that's a 12-month program because we're producing 50 episodes in a year, one every single week. So I guess you could cancel early, but then your podcast you wouldn't want to quit in the middle because you'd have a podcast and then it would stop airing. I guess that's my answer to that question. As a testimonial guy said, he knew lawyers that Max talked to. What type of lawyers does this work with? There's a long list, but you want to just give them a few?
Sure. Immigration, personal injury, mass tort, divorce. I can even do the IP guy, Social Security, disability, ERISA attorneys, Social Security attorneys, workers' comp attorneys. If you give me enough time, which is like a half hour, I can find the legal duty. And depending on what you sell, I can make the argument. Remember, folks, I am an MGA in insurance. I understand securities. I just need to know what you say and what they do. For example, immigration attorneys are probably one of the biggest opportunities that no one ever goes to because they deal with people who are investor visas, and those people are could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and then a financial planner in a foreign country and not here. So you give me the type of attorney, and I should be able to find the angle.
Awesome. Great question, Ken. And again, it's going to depend on what that potential client might need. So an IP attorney is working with business owners to protect their intellectual property. So what might does that business attorney need key man insurance? Do they need a buy-sell agreement? Do they need disability? Can this also work with CPAs?
And absolutely. So attorneys have a broad duty because very few attorneys know tax. We took it in law school, so we know enough that we don't know what we don't know. And yes, CPAs are a gold mine to use this program because every attorney, almost every issue has a tax implication.
Awesome question, Ken. Keep them coming. All right. I know 3 IP attorneys and a bunch of CPAs. Awesome, Dave. And again, so if you already have relationships with those attorneys, they're just not referring. I mean, it could just be somebody you know from BNI or from networking, right? Or you know to say hello to, or maybe you've had a case in common or something, but they've never sent you business or they've never sent you anywhere near enough, then this is perfect. If you want relationships with 50 new attorneys and CPAs that you don't know yet, Platinum is what you want because the podcast will get you in the door to start the relationship so that then you can put Max and his team on the phone with them. I wouldn't start cold calling attorneys going, you got to talk to this guy, because that's not how it's not going to work.
But I do teach you how to get the attorneys. You as salespeople should be able to get to 20 to 30 attorneys in a year without the help of Seth. You just don't know you have connections to that many attorneys. And that's part of the training that you get from me. So yeah.
I just found out my bank got a deposit I didn't expect. I got to get my card from my car. I'll be right back. Awesome, Dave. All right. So it looks like, all right, we got a couple more slots left after Dave signs up. Are we required to write insurance business through a certain IMO or hierarchy? No, I am not an IMO. I don't want the business. You write it wherever you want. I don't care. There is no IMO attached to this. You do whatever, you write it wherever you feel like, Mark.
And Mark, one of the things that we're going to do to help you is I know of unique products that you will now be a hero to your IMO. So when you hear about a unique product that, for example, not many people know about high liability DI from Lloyd's, which is an important issue in divorce cases, you can take it back to your IMO and they can get contracted. So yes, you're going to write it with whomever you want.
Yeah, we don't have any restrictions on that. Max and his team, their job is to teach you and close the cases for you. Our job is to facilitate the marketing to help you add more value, help train you, help you get more resources, help you get more attorneys. So this is a marketing and referral generation program. We are not an IMO, FMO. We don't care where you write the business. You are totally free to do whatever you want. And as Max alluded to, he's got access to products that honestly I had never even known existed. And like we had a case where he said, hey, did you know, where he talked to the attorney and he said, you know, most average financial advisors or insurance agents can only write X amount of dollar amount in disability coverage. You got high net worth business owners. They need a heck of a lot more disability than that. I have this program with Lloyd's or whoever it was where we can write millions of disability insurance. And I said, damn, I need to get me some of that because my disability carrier says you can only get X amount of your whatever. Does one have to be an
Well, we got a
RIA?
very interesting question.
Does one have to be an RIA to
No.
participate? No, you don't have to do any securities to do this.
And let me tell you where you, as a life and annuity person, might go in and write DI. So in divorce cases, life and disability are generally ordered. Life for sure, disability second. But if you do long-term care insurance, that is the new trend that needs to be written in divorce cases because of senior divorces, and the spouse that's paying the alimony spends all his money on medical expenses and medical care, can't pay the alimony payments. So the other big place for you is in the PI world. Not only might you write an annuity for the plaintiff, but if the person is severely injured, you're going to write life and disability on the attendant, who might be a spouse, and you'll be writing Medicare. And if you're PNC licensed, you'll write on the home or the auto because you have them as a client. So there could be 6 or 7 policies written out of a PI case.
Okay, I got one. I need more time to get the money. What are my options? Well, you commented as anonymous, so I don't know who you are. If the 10 slots are gone, they're gone. I don't, if you want it here, I'll put my email in the chat box. If you have additional questions, you can email me. You know what? Actually, it's going to be faster. I'll give you my cell. Just text me. I'm on the East Coast, as I mentioned. I'm in Buffalo, New York. I've got 3 young children. So if you text me too late at night, I won't respond. But if you wanted, if there was some way, if you needed more time, you can make a deposit. We'll come up with somewhere where you make a deposit today and secure your spot. But if all 10 are taken, then I got nothing. All right. Other questions? We got a couple more minutes. You will, after you sign up, you should get an immediate thank you email. It may land in your spam. We'll also manually send it to you as well, giving you access to all of your resources. So there's going to be a sign up link for the podcast booking. If you're a part of that, there's going to be a sign up link for the magazine. There's going to be a sign up link for the weekly training. Again, all of that stuff that we'll have. We use a couple apps to deliver some of it. We'll give you links to register so that we can send out those notifications to you. Make sure you show up on the weekly trainings and all of the other resources we're giving. Other questions? I'm in. Awesome. Congratulations, Dave. All right. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. If we don't personally know local lawyers, how does one choose who to call?
All right. Well, you actually probably can get to lawyers through friends, family, LinkedIn groups, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Part of the training is to tell you how to get there. I assure you that when you do the homework I give you, you will have at least one person who can introduce you to one attorney. And what I did for Ross Brannon, who is the gentleman you saw the testimonial from, I was able to get the attorneys that he talked to with me to get him to other attorneys.
Yeah,
So
he did that with me too. When after the attorney went through the process, he then had another thing that I wasn't even expecting, where he got the attorney to start referring us to other, because they all know other attorneys, right? He got them to start referring us to other attorneys to talk to, which was absolutely brilliant. Please put your cell phone again. Yep. All right. 716-908-3164.
And for those out there, remember, any attorneys you have probably could take you to 20 other attorneys.
Yep.
It's a matter of positioning. And the way to position it is myself and my team are going to be trained at the end to say, okay, well, you loved it. Would you like to help out other attorneys? Because the way they get referrals from other attorneys is to make the other attorneys happy. So if they can go to other attorneys and look like the smart guy that you found a way to protect their bacon, they will then send you over in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because they're like, oh my God, I just protected myself. I didn't realize I was exposed to this. That paranoia works for you, not only in getting referrals, but in them introducing you to other attorneys going, you got to hear what this guy has to say. You got to protect yourself.
Yes. And the answer is it applies to estate attorneys, long-term care attorneys,
Elder care.
elder care, all of those attorneys. Sorry, I didn't get that at the beginning. Pretty much it applies, the other folks, to the person who asked the question on IP, any business attorney, depending on what you sell, which includes IP attorneys, have to refer out. So it applies to pretty much any kind of attorney, defense or plaintiff. I can make the argument. It's just, we need to know when you are setting up an appointment with us, what kind of attorney are they? And for those who signed up, start making a list of your attorneys, but don't call them.
Yeah, don't mess it up. Let us do let us do it.
You need to get a little training before you call them.
Yes, don't go, hey, you got to hear about this thing because it won't work. I tried. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, congratulations to those of you who signed up. Everybody else, hopefully you learned a lot. Hopefully you realize that this is now possible. And we look forward to getting to serve you. If you don't join the program, we'll see you in a couple months when we'll be reporting back the case results of everybody who signed up today. And we'll have some awesome case studies to show you as to how well it worked. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Max.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for joining us.